name is Mark Engel, and I'm here with another Holy Trinity Ministry Minute, where we explore some of the ways in which our members are living generously. Today, my guest is Cheryl Jones. Cheryl is involved with global engagement, and she'll tell us a little bit about what that is, the activities that they do, and why she's involved with it. So Cheryl, thank you for being with us today.
Oh, glad to.
I wonder if you could start off by telling us, what is global engagement?
Global engagement is our work as a church worldwide, and that means everywhere in the world. Our next door neighbor here on Erie Street, all the way around to the farthest corners of the globe.
Great. There's a couple of activities in particular I know that we've done recently at the church. I wonder if you could tell us about it. One of them has to do with water. Tell us a little bit about how that's involved in global engagement and what are the things that we've done.
We've done a lot. Water has been, and let's face it, everything gets down to the basics. You know, water, food, shelter. Those are the basics worldwide for anybody to live. But yes, at the church we've done quite a few different projects over many, many years. The most recent was we partnered with Life Water and have funded a well project in Ethiopia. They're a company, an organization, nonprofit that does work worldwide as well, which just happens to be that was where the need was. So we were able to raise the seed money to help get that project started. There will still be needing additional funds to see it through fruition. Of course, the pandemic has not helped with that, but it is being worked on and will be done. Water also at more at the state level or synod level, the crisis at the Navajo Nation this past year, when they had to turn off the public wells that people had to haul their water from, created a real impact on our mission up there. So they were having to provide water. So we helped with that, getting the funding to pay the water bill up there and sending water. Even at the local level too, we've also done things like collected water for Grace in the City. Sometimes things overlap between a global engagement type of emphasis as well as local community level things. So there is some overlap sometimes with some of those, especially more local and statewide or synod-wide level. But water, of course, is always a big thing. Years ago, we funded a well at the school in Sapele, which we'll talk about in a minute with the books. But we've also done well with water there as well. Again, it's just constant. Water is always a need and something we've worked on many times in the past.
Okay, good. Well, that's a nice segue to the other topic that I wanted to cover with you, because I know another of our big efforts is raising money to buy textbooks for schools in Africa. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Yeah. That's Mission Africa. MissionAfrica.org is a organization and another nonprofit that we partner with through, started out with Mountain View. Victor Jacques Poor is the founder of Mission Africa, and we were at a meeting many years ago, and kind of in a table of people, this sort of literally grew up out of a conversation. He is from Sapele, Nigeria, and has always wanted to give back to his community. And so we've been supporting the book drive every year in July, Christmas in July. We raise funds to buy textbooks for the kids at the Oweri Primary School in Sapele, so they have their books in September. So it's always a kind of a summertime project to get those funds raised. And every year we've been able to get the textbooks. We also have other things that we're working on at the school. Lunch program, again, we did the well. We then had to fix the well. Those sorts of things are ongoing. But it's just been a wonderful partnership with Mission Africa that is something that we do really just right here. It's very, very local, but it has a global impact.
Mm-hmm. I think here sometimes we take for granted the fact our kids go to school and they have textbooks. Mm-hmm. I take it it's not quite that easy in Africa.
Oh, no.
Tell us about that just a little bit.
The kids have to have a uniform. That's fine. That can be handed down from generation to generation. You know, someone can mend and fix that uniform. But books, the Nigerian government dictates the kinds of books they have to have for the curriculum have to instruct. Usually they're workbooks. The kids have to write in them every year. So they can't pass one down from one kid to the next in their family. They always have to get that new set of books. A set of books is about 4: reading, math, writing, some type of other type of text, whatever the curriculum is for that year. And it averages about $25 a set. $25 for a lot of families is their monthly income. So it's just impossible for a lot of families to afford them. So those that can will buy their kids books, and then we kind of pick up the slack and try and get as many kids, as many as they can. And depending on the funding from year to year, it might be that we buy, every kid gets their reading book, or every kid gets their math book. grades 1 to 6. If some years we've been able to fund all of them for the entire school. That doesn't happen real often, but usually we're always able to fund a good amount of the books for the kids.
And of course, one will be coming up in July.
That's right. Christmas in July is always coming.
Very good, very good. I wonder if you could tell us, just spend a couple of minutes as to why you got involved in this effort. I mean, certainly there's a lot of things you could do. Why global engagement?
You know, it's always been something that I've felt a need for. I mean, Jesus calls us to help our neighbor, you know, love our neighbor as ourselves. Our neighbor is the person down the street on Erie, but it's also people in Nigeria. It's people in Cambodia. It's people anywhere in the world that need help. And by helping them in an accompaniment model, which is what global engagement does, we accompany people around the world, and sometimes accompany means helping literally with providing that water or those textbooks. Sometimes it's just a matter of, I shouldn't say just a matter, it's a matter of accompanying them in their faith journey, you know, praying with them, supporting their ministries, whatever it might be to help that community. But it always starts at the basic community level of, you know, what are the needs? Is it something we can help with? Is it something we can pray about or help get the resources to that community for whatever it is that they might possibly need? But it's always been something that I've been very interested in, just how to help people. You know, you see people on TV or whatever, and it's like, how do you do that? And some of it also now is my career as a travel agent. I've been blessed to be able to see a lot of the world, and you get out into the world and to some countries that aren't as blessed as we are, and there's a big difference in how, you know, people live. And some people live very, very happy, fulfilling lives with very, very little. And it just amazes me how happy they can be and how centered, especially when you go to a faith community in Senegal and see how overjoyed they are when they're worshiping. And yet you see how they live, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing what God can do.
Cheryl, that's awesome. Thank you very much for sharing some time with us today and explaining how you're living generously through Holy Trinity.
Thank you.